My mother was 8 years old when Emmett Till was murdered. In fact, when you see the old photographs, the final ones of his life, that Christmas before he was murdered, there's one photograph with a little girl and little boys surrounding him. That's my mother and my uncles. They actually resided in the building where Emmett lived with his mother when he was murdered, on the south side of Chicago on St. Lawrence. I just want to say that North Chicago is not the only area in the state of Illinois that's suffering from police violence. I was at an event on Friday night where a 15-year-old autistic young man had been murdered by the Calumet City Police. I live out in the south suburbs, and what I'm hearing this evening mirrors what's going on all over Chicago, all over Illinois, and all over the country. Victims such as Darrin Hanna, Amadou Diallo, Sean Bell, Trayvon Martin, Stephon Watts, and the list goes on and on. She just named a list of her own right here in North Chicago. You know, I believe that the police have become the new KKK. Not all police are bad. Now, not all of them are bad. But you're blessed if you call 911 and you seek assistance from the police and they send the good cops out. Because today, the police are hiding behind their badges, just like white men hid under white hoods, or let me say cowards hid under white hoods back in the 50s. You know, Michelle Alexander mentioned in an interview, she's the author of The New Jim Crow, Colorblindness and Mass Incarcerations. She said that Black America has been lulled to sleep to believe we've made great racial progress, when in fact, we've taken a tragic wrong turn. So I admonish you this evening, let's set our GPS systems and reset them so that we can turn in the right direction. We have to come together as a community, engage ourselves, tell people about what's going on, and demand justice for our loved ones. Now, it's sad to say, and I say this from the bottom of my heart, justice is not going to come in the way we always want it. I say to you that you remind me of Mamie Till Mobley and her fight for justice for her son. Our family never received justice in the form of legal ramifications. The legal justice system never worked for us. The case remained open even after Emmett's murderers, J.W. Milam and Roy Bryant, confessed in an article in the Look magazine, not even a year after the murder. And they laid it out. Everything they did, how they beat him, how they shot him, everything that they did. And to hear Emmett's mother talk about what she experienced, how she had to go and identify her only child, and what she saw. She went over him inch by inch by inch because it was a monster that came in that box from Mississippi. You know, so I say to you, when I see the images of Darrin, I am reminded of the images of Emmett Till. They're gruesome, and they represent what racism looks like. We need to look at those images and see that that's racial injustice. We are no longer living in the old Jim Crow. As my cousin Simeon Wright says, we're living under the sun of Jim Crow. We are living under the sun of Jim Crow and the new Jim Crow system. And our people are being racially discriminated against through mass incarceration, racial profiling. And to make it worse, we have children on the streets committing genocide amongst themselves. Just think, if we could rally all of the pastors, the communities would come together like this during tragic incidents. If pastors such as Pastor Rosen would open the doors of their churches and allow the people to come in and go out into the streets and rally and gather others, imagine the type of power we'd have as a people. Yeah. The fact that Mamie Till Mobley left that casket open, it ignited a civil rights movement. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Emmett wasn't the first, nope. And obviously he has not been the last. Mm-mm. But it was her bravery to leave that casket open to demonstrate to the world, and then you had media as a factor, to demonstrate what was being done in the South, what they were doing to children in the South. So I applaud you for fighting for justice for Darrin, because it is important to show people, to fight, and keep moving forward. away with murder. And if they never get fired, which I pray that justice will be served, the fact that Darrin is a sacrificial lamb of sorts, just like Emmett during this time, his memory will never be forgotten. I believe that all of the children, all of the victims of police violence who have been slain, they are sacrificial lambs of the new Jim Crow. And that the memory of them and what's going on should ignite a massive movement. We should have a new modern-day civil rights movement. We should be that angry as a people that we're allowing a system to criminalize us in the way that it is. So again, I just thank you so kindly for having me come out this evening. We must not forget the intrepid decision by Mamie Till Mobley, the godmother of the civil rights movement, the nucleus, the unspoken and often overlooked warrior against the struggles for human wrongs and our civil liberties. We must not forget her. We must not forget Emmett Till, and we must not forget Darrin Hanna. God bless you all.